Ladies and gentlemen, next on, we are going to start the panel discussion for fermentation science and branding for wineries with our distinguished speakers and guests. For this panel discussion, we will be exploring the power of fermentation that provides us with many benefits. Now, I would like to introduce you the session moderator, Dr. Chang Iwei. He is the professor and interim chair in the Department of Nutrition and Food Science in College of Agriculture and Natural Resources in University of Maryland, USA. And for the panelists, we will have 5 panelists joining us. The first one is Mr. Toshihiko Takatani. He is the Representative Director of Next Generation Primary Industry Practice Corp. And second one is Dr. Yves Watch, the Professor of Microbiology and Biotechnology of AgroSoup Dijon, France. Second one is Dr. Ji-Cheng Chan, the Professor in Food Science and Nutritional Engineering College in China Agricultural University in China. For the fourth one is Dr. Pekka Kes. He is the adjunct professor in industrial engineering and management in University of Vasa in Finland. And the last one is Dr. Chen Hao Chen. He is the associate professor in the Department of Food and Beverage Management in the National Kaohsiung University of Hospitality and Tourism in Taiwan. So the discussion will last for 30 minutes. And we'll talk about the fermentation science and branding for wineries in different countries, the cases in different countries from around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, so the fermentation science and branding wineries, we are focusing on the issue of wine and also beer and also fermentation product. So we are heading to the meeting room. Please welcome all panelists and Dr. Wei.
Okay, been too excited. You know, when you talk about wine and the beer, everybody likes it. And the only thing is, I myself, I don't drink. And the problem is the amount of alcohol, I mean the beer, all I needed that much, then all my face turned red and sweating. So that's the reason, you know, I don't do that. But the topic is very interesting. And, you know, I would like the panelists to say something. So, anybody want to start first? Or I have to call the name. Okay, then that's started from Mr. Takatani. Do you have something to say about the 5 presentations?
Okay, good morning. I'm Takatani. I can speak well in English, so I speak in Japanese. Please introduce to English. Sorry. 高谷と言います。サントリーという日本で一番大きなお酒の会社で20年やってきました。その中でワインの、醸造をしてきました。で、近年、ワインのブドウを作るための栽培も手掛けております。そして、栽培に関しての、未来に対して、技術開発をしておりまして、現在ベンチャーでその、技術開発を進めております。 ここで、日本のワインの、市場について少しご紹介させていただきます。日本のブドウ園で典型的な、栽培の風景というのは、こういう棚になった景色になります。これは日本が雨が多いので、湿気が、たまらない、病気にならないというメリット、あと、太陽の光をたくさん浴びられますので、収量が増えるというメリットがあります。ただ、一方で、技術が必要だと。あと、この木に育てるのに時間がかかる。そして、機械化ができないというようなところの、課題があります。先ほどもありましたけども、日本の、ブドウの消費についてですけれども、日本では9割は生で食べます。シャインマスカットをはじめ、美味しいブドウがたくさんあります。ワインは 10% 程度しか使われておりません。そして、日本で飲まれているワインの内訳が右の図になります。3分の2、66% は海外の、ワインの輸入ワインになります。で、日本の中で作られたワインの中でも 30% はジュース、グレープは海外になります。そして日本のブドウから作られたワインはたったの 5% になります。一方で日本のブドウで作るワインというのを手掛けるワイナリーは近年増加傾向にあります。左下の図になります。そしてその増加しているほとんどは家族経営のローカルワイナリーになります。彼らは自分たちでブドウを作ってワインを醸造するという、個人経営になります。日本のワインに使われている品種の内訳になります。日本の気候に合ったハイブリッドの品種が約4割です。代表的な品種は、甲州、マスカットベイリー A になります。その他、アメリカのラブラスカ州が 35% ほど、大きい品種構成としては、ナイアガラ、コンコード、デラウェアになります。一般的にワインに使われているシャルドネ、メルローというのは約2割になります。そして日本のワイナリーは右の図ですけれども、農家から購入、もしくは農家と契約して生産するということが 85% です。自分たちで作るというのは非常に少ないです。これは先ほどの生殖のブドウと同じく、もともとブドウの産地から、加工用としてブドウを買っているというところから育っております。近年、先ほど少し申し上げましたけど、ブドウが、農家の減少に伴い、少なくなってますので、ワイナリーもしくは個人経営の事業者が自分でブドウの栽培を始めるという状況になります。そして、ブドウを育てると上での問題点がたくさんあります。一つは、気候が非常に、世界の名城地と異なり、雨が多く、土壌が肥沃であると。もう一つは、人手がかかるので、儲からないと しかも農家が減少している。これを解決するために、基調講演でもありました通り、スマート農業、テクノロジーを使いまして、農業を新しくしていくと。こういう技術開発を進めております。簡単ですが、私のご紹介になります。ありがとうございます。
Thank you. Can we have Dr. Walche from France? Do you mind to talk a little bit about your experience with fermentations?
Hello?
Dr. Walche, is that right?
Yes. Sorry, I didn't hear my name. So, hello. So that was interesting to see the culture of grapes, wine in Japan. In France, it's not the same problem, I think, because do you hear me?
Yeah.
Is it okay? Yeah. Because we have grapes from more than 2,000-3,000 years, and it's growing naturally, but we still have big problems due to pests and to the use of pesticides on grapes, and this is one big problem because with climate change, with sometimes freezing very late, with some years with a lot of rain, other years without rain, it's requiring a lot of chemical treatments, and this is really a problem when we speak about sustainability. And for me, this is really the problem for the future of wine. It's how we can try to have maybe organic wine or such things. And in Burgundy, there are a lot of organic wines, but organic wines is more and more culture with specific treatment authorized, because without treatment, there's no grapes. So I think we still have to improve those treatments. So I really come from a part where there's a lot of wines, and that's why I begin with wine. But there's the situation is not the same for wine and for other fermentation, because I think fermentation is usually a way to make something very sustainable, because with fermentation you can improve the nutrition, improve the properties of the food. You can make a transformation from meat to plant protein, for instance. And with fermentation, plant protein will be available and easy to digest. But this is only positive, I think, fermentation in this case. But in the case of wine, fermentation is also positive but there's still the problem of the global warming making wine more and more alcoholic, and so we have to try to change the fermentation from alcoholic fermentation to glycerol production, to not to have too high amounts of alcohol. But the main problem is in the culture of vine, and how we can have a culture without pesticides. Or so that's what I can add to the discussion, maybe.
That's good. So basically, you're talking about the major concern is the pesticides. And and now because of the climate change, so there is a possibility the farmers are going to use more pesticides for the production. Is that going to be the case, or we have to change the locations to grow the grapes or something like that?
Yeah, for the change in the location, so that's a question, because we think with the warming, the grapes that was in the south will be in the north. But this is not only true, because there's not only warming, but a change in the climate. So, for instance, this year in France, we had a big problem with late freezing, and so we have lost a part of the production. But from the north to the south of France, it was everywhere, and when the flowers were here, it was -5, -6 degrees. So even in the north, the problem was the same. And so I don't know if I think there will be problem every year, but I don't think it will be easy to grow grapes in Siberia, and I'm not sure we will have such an easy solution. I think everything will be more difficult, but I don't think we just have to to move the location of wine.
Okay, Dr. Chen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Can I start to speak some French with Monsieur Vacher? Monsieur Vacher, bonjour.
Bonjour.
Voilà, il est donc 10 heures à Taïwan. J'étais le premier étudiant asiatique à IUVV Dijon, université. Mon professeur était Monsieur Feuillard. Voilà. Excusez-moi.
D'accord.
I'm glad to see my France is like my second home, because I was the first Asian student who studied analogy and viticulture at the university. So back to 1996. So I'm glad to see my friend from Dijon also. I would like to share with all of you some of the wine I produce in Taiwan with a technique adapt to the local climate. Consider the climate issue. So let me share my screen. Okay, I study analogy in Dijon, so let me get it very quick. So, well, back to the previous picture. That was in 1996. I make wine in a cellar of Dijon. So as you probably know, that the world viticultural zone is separated into two zones, from 30 to 50 latitude, north and southern hemisphere. Taiwan is a subtropical country. So when I come back to Taiwan, I started to try to find a place on the earth in in a subtropical zone who also produce wines. So in Taiwan, we have two major varieties. All those varieties was planted during the Japanese era of Taiwan. The Taipei Empire University import many European and hybrid varieties. Finally, two varieties stay for the production of red wine. First is Black Queen, and second one is Golden Muscat. Black Queen is bred by the Kawakami Zenbei, the father of Japanese viticulture. Golden Muscat is bred by in 1991 by Cornell University. Both of them are hybrid variety. As you know, hybrid variety is foxy. It has a special foxiness from itself after the maturation. So, excuse me. And we also have to harvest before the arrival of first typhoon. If you don't harvest before typhoon, then typhoon will harvest for you. Then you have nothing left. And then, so I found the country. Sorry, it's from Atlantic Ocean, which is Mandela Island. Mandela Island is subtropical. They grow banana and also vines. So the winemaking of Mandela is very special. It was discovered during the exploration of Portuguese exploration, because they went to India to look for herbs. So the boat, during the exploration, the boat, to gain the center weight of the boat, they had to store all those wine barrels, the wine they produce, because hot weather is not good for wine storage. Therefore, they are fortified wines. Fortified wines means the alcoholic concentration, by adding brandies to increase the alcoholic concentration more than 15%. So the concentration, so when the alcohol is more than 50%, then there's no problem for the weather. But however, during the hot and humid condition, the wines just went up better and better because of the Maillard reaction, because of the hot creates sort of chemical reactions. So the wine becomes more fruitier. Later on, they invented a extrusion system to cook the barrel for 50 degrees Celsius over three months. So they use stove. Okay, so in Taiwan, I use the solar panel to get the heat, and I use the ventilation and the serpentine coil for the heat exchange over 3 months. So after the experiment, the foxiness just disappeared, and then we started to. I published the discovery, and then but however, after a year of oak aging in barrel, I discovered that with the annual evaporation, in English we call it angel share, la part des anges, 10% par an. So after 5 years, it's half barrel left, and then it's very concentrated with very fresh acidity. So until today, we won in 10 different countries in competitions in 10 different winemaking countries. So I adapt the winemaking tradition from Europe, and then to make something drinkable in Taiwan. Thank you.
So do you also plan to get some more new varieties of the grape, or just going to use those two?
I think that's my question for Monsieur Vachier also, because Pinot Noir, the traditional Pinot Noir is very, I mean, all over the world, only France produce the best Pinot Noir, and also some in Oregon, in United States, produce the best Pinot Noir, but Pinot Noir is very sensible to the climate. So I don't know if one day Dijon will plant, for example, Syrah, Syrah to replace the Pinot Noir. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't answer to your question. This is also a question I have because I think Pinot Noir is, but I think it can grow also in California, in warmer place in California, so maybe it will stay, but maybe it's better to have Syrah. I don't know.
Yes, because Pinot Noir is very sensible to the I don't know, Takatani-san, do you?
Pinot Noir is very difficult to cultivate. And Japanese winemaker, many Japanese winemaker try to cultivate Pinot Noir, but not success. Almost all.
Continue.
In Taiwan, I think it's subtropical, and then the viticultural zone is shrinking. It's shrinking and shrinking because young farmers they just want to sell the farmland because the farmland is getting more and more expensive. So it's very difficult to, yes, but the Taiwan Agricultural Station, we have come out with 5 new varieties. Taichung in Taichung, because Taichung is the new, it's the center of the viticultural zone. So they came out with 5 new varieties, both red and white. So I think we can diversify the flavor and taste of the local production.
In Maryland, our faculty, collect different kind of varieties from different countries and see, how much they can grow in different locations in Maryland. Okay, so that's one way to try or something like that, yeah. And in Maryland, the winery, the number have been increased in the past 10 years. When I first came to Maryland in 2005, there are about only 33 wineries. And today, we have more than 100 wineries. So a lot of the wine testing and also the tourism, some of the people, they do the waiting at the winery, something like that. So it become a very big business. Yeah. Okay, Dr. Zhang, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
As to the wine sustainability, so China government have tried to do some work. The first, just as I said in my presentation, so most of the China wine region is located in the northern part of China. So in winter, we have to bury the wine at the ground. So it costs a lot. So the first one, so China researcher, they try to breed some cold-resistant variety, use like some Chinese local species like Vitis armorensis. Now there is more than 20 varieties, new varieties, are planted. I planted in China now. So the first work is try to decrease the labor cost. The second way, so recent years, so China government tried to they launch a new event. We call it double decreasing. It means we decrease the use of pesticide and fertilizer. Not only in the vineyard, but also in other like orchard, also in the farmland. So I think it's also a big activity to to maintain the sustainability of a farm in China. For wine production, so some practice in China now. So some vineyards are try to practice like organic or biodynamic. So it's also a new trend to maintain the vineyard sustainability. Also, in the wine making, so we try to use some natural yeast. It's Saccharomyces yeast. Is can decrease the alcohol, the content. Also, in some winery, like in northern west part of China, like in Ningxia province, some winery try to use solar energy. Also, it's a new trend to decrease the energy use. So I think that's the 5 part is China wine industry try to maintain the wine sustainability.
So I don't know you know or not, okay? You know, in California, and because of the fire, and last year and the year before, you know, Napa Valley, you know, also get into fire, and some of the winery, the vineyard, they've been, you know, destroyed. And right now somebody is also trying to recover, and whether they have enough money, you know, to, or they have to file bankruptcy or something like that. So I don't know, you know, in other countries, if because of the climate change, so, you know, some of this damage of the farmland occur in other countries or not.
Also, I like California, also the same like in Australia. So also lots of wildfire. So
that's right. Yeah.
Lots of winery maybe they stop to produce wine anymore. So or just sell their vineyard or winery to the investor from other country. Okay.
Dr. Pekka, are you there? No. Okay. Yeah. So I think this is always very interesting. Right now, my department, okay, at the University of Maryland, we just got the approval to establish a fermentation science program. So right now, basically going to start the next year, and my challenge as the department chair is going to find some faculty first, so that to teach the course. So hope I have the opportunity, you know, in the next several years, you know, have the chance to bring the student or faculty visit your some of your office or labs or departments, and trying to learn something, you know. And this, of course, you know, we talk, you mentioned about the nutrition, and right now some friends are trying to introduce me to some of the people from Indonesia. And the Indonesia, they produce tempeh, you know, the fermented of the soybean, okay, and you know, with fungus, and then they consume, basically every day they consume tempeh, okay. So the professors is looking into the opportunity, you know, to have some collaborations or something like that. So this can be very exciting for us. Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Professor Zhang.
Yeah.
The question I would like to share. So the wine wine consumption in China. The wine
Yeah.
consumption in China, it was 0.25 bottles in 2002. But now the wine consumption is more than 1.5 liter consumption per capita. So that means 2.82 billion bottles in the wine consumption in China. And also the viticultural area is now the second largest vineyard in the world. Okay, in 2018. So what do you think about the change of the wine culture? Is it becomes a daily consumption for most of the Chinese people of wine consumption in China?
Okay, Dr. Chen. So we have ever met in Beijing. Do you remember? Just as mentioned, I mentioned in my presentation. So as to the surface area of wines, China ranked the second position in the world. But as to the wine production, China only ranked the 10th position in the world. Because China, in China, we produce more table grape than wine grape. Only a small part, just I think 20% of the wine area is for wine grape. So it's the first your question. So the second, so I don't think the data, the daily consumption of 1.5 liter is right now. So it's about, I think it's about 1 liter.
1 liter.
Yeah, it's 1 liter. So, but if you visit mainland next time, you can find more and more Chinese people. They began to drink wine now. It's I think China market is still have very large potential. So the quantity is still will increase in the future.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Wei, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
But no, Dr. Pekka is here. Dr. Pekka Kes is online with us now.
Good to see you, my friend.
Hello.
So the transport of the beer, I think that's a similar issues in Maryland. Okay, Maryland, Maryland, in the past, okay, people they go out of state to bring the wine, will order the wine and then deliver to Maryland. And then the state government have all kind of regulations. And so until about 2-3 years ago, eventually the wine industry work with the government agencies and change some of those laws and the tax related issues. So, I mean, I can understand, the people, mainly because of the price, the tax, and then they're trying to, move the beers around and all those kind of things. It seems a lot of people, and it's also very surprised to me. Okay, in Maryland, I'm living in the county, it's called Montgomery County. And I was very surprised to learn that the wine consumption in Montgomery County was #1 in the nation. Okay, it's very, very surprised. And I can understand part of it, because this county, in terms of the income, we used to be ranked #3 in the nation. So basically, third richest county in the nation. Now it's about number 7. So people most of them are richer than the other people. And then, for dinner or, parties or whatever, people drink a lot of the wine. But the surprise is it is number 1 in the nation in terms of the wine consumption. So I think
yes, In Finland, we don't grow any grapes. As we saw the picture of these 2 zones of wine or grape growing in the world, we are further north up, and maybe the climate change will help us in the coming times that we can start growing grapes as well and start producing wine. But of course, people are looking for alcohol all over the world, and in northern places like in Finland, we use potatoes and barley and berries to make alcohol drinks, alcohol with fermentation processes. Potato has been used for making vodka, of course. We don't drink potato wine, but we make it a little bit stronger, and then we get vodka, and that is. And of course, barley is used for making beer and also some alcoholic, stronger alcohol drinks. During the war, actually, Finland is famous for timber industry, and during the war and after war, we made some alcohol drinks also out of timber, of wood, using the liquor from the wood making, or pulp and paper making processes use the chemicals to make alcohol. But most interesting, I think, today is to use berries, white berries and grown berries to make wine type of drinks, not wine as such. Wine is made of grapes, but berries can be a good source for alcoholic drinks. But looking forward to the global warming, helping Finland in the wine business. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think our time is up, so it's the time for the next sections. And thank you very much to have this opportunity to listen to the presentation and also the panel discussions. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you, Dr. Cheng Iwei and all panelists. It's such an interesting discussion. But before you leave, we would like to take a group photo. So everyone, please make sure you are in the good look, as we will keep this photo forever and keep it a good memory for us. So everyone, so please take a look at your camera. We'll take picture in 3, 2, 1. Everybody smile.